Hey Luchi, good to talk to you today. Since I'm first, I get to ask the fun question. The big announcement in Major League Soccer, Lionel Messi joining Inter Miami. Um, is that something that's been buzzing around the locker room? How has that news been received in the locker room? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, I was born and raised in Miami, Florida, and when Inter Miami became an MLS club, it was personally exciting for me to know that my community where I grew up is now going to have a professional team in our country, and then have a second team, an academy, and really grow that out with a facility, a training facility, a stadium that there's plans for, linking Dade and Broward County. So, and now to have this plan with Messi coming in to that community in our league and MLS in our country, it's amazing. It's amazing. They're not on our schedule this year. Hopefully they are next year, but it'll be an honor. It'll be an honor to be a coach against not only a club that's in a community that I grew up in, but also a player that is considered to be the very best. Absolutely, I would vote him as the best player ever to have played the game. Some might argue differently, but definitely one of the best ever. And bringing excitement to our league, growing the fan base, growing the global attention. It's all positive. It's all positive, and a brilliant player on the field, no matter his age. So I'm excited about it. I know the players and the staff have been talking about it, but does it directly concern us in our day-to-day? No, but at the right moment, if I get to coach against him or play against them, and he's involved, it'll be something to remember. That's for sure.
Next question, Charlie Bone. Charlie, can you hear us? Let's jump to Jamin Mornstead. Go ahead, Jamin.
Hey, Luchi. Then I will ask the first question about your opponent, Philadelphia. Obviously, always a very good team over the past few years. It feels like an organization that, this organization, the Earthquakes, would love to emulate in terms of the success of the academy, in terms of how they've developed a unique style and approach to the game over the past few seasons, and of course the success that they've had in Major League Soccer, coming just a few minutes away from an MLS Cup last season. When you think about lining up, against a Jim Curtin team, what do you think about? What does that feel like for you at this point? And what do you expect to be able to bring to this particular matchup, being a home game? Thanks.
Yeah, look, I've known Jim for many years, from playing days to, his first days coaching the academy as I got started, and really admiring him being one of the very first academy coaches, ex-players, academy coaches, and then professional coaches in MLS. A pathway that I can really relate with, and he's been a mentor to me. He's been a friend with me and a colleague to help guide me in the pathways I've had, and we've had some great conversations and dialogue about the academy, the second team pathway, and of course the experiences with the first team. So definitely admire him, and congrats to him and Philadelphia Union for just showing consistency in their commitment to development, to competing on the field, and playing an attractive, intense, attacking-minded game that almost won an MLS Cup last year, right? And I know that they have that ambition and desire and motivation. So we're definitely, we need to be at our best. I know it's a home game for us. We're excited to be back at home after a long road trip last week. We love playing at PayPal. We love playing in front of our families and our fans. We want to embrace that opportunity. We've had a good week of training and preparation to do that. But recognizing Philly's very good. They haven't lost since mid-April or early April. It's a team that's effective home and away. Obviously, they're well coached with Jim. They're going to show those things that I described earlier, and we have to be ready to show our best in terms of energy. The game's never going to be perfect, but but we got to approach it with a great attitude, a great energy, a great intensity to match that with them, and have them even try to match ours, as well as create and be on the front foot to attack a very sound defense. You know, they've made an adjustment with 5 in the back. I don't know if they're going to do that on Saturday. They've been pretty consistent with the 2 up top and the diamond. It's looking a little different recently for the reasons that maybe based on personnel, but it's been very effective. So we need to be ready for that.
Next up, Abel Anguiano.
Hi, Luchi. Thanks for talking to us today and for taking my question. You have a difficult game ahead, but you have the advantage of being at home, and you also have Cade returning from the national team as well as Niko. How do you feel about going into the game with a reinforced squad? Thank you.
Yeah, great to have Cade and Niko back. They joined training recently. They're just youthful spirit and energy, having that experience, bringing it back to us and sharing it with us, and bringing intensity to our training and talent to our training has been great. And so, yeah, we definitely we count on them to be back in our competition. And you know, things aren't clear yet in terms of the decisions for the game, but we're getting closer. And we know they're going to help us. And then, yeah, look, we're home, but I mentioned Philly is very effective, whether they're the visitor or they themselves are playing at home. And we know that this is a hard game, you know, but we're excited. These are the games we want. We want to be challenged. We want to play the best, but we also believe in ourselves that we can beat anybody on any given day, and we want to try to show that on Saturday.
Let's take a second question from Alex Morgan as well as Jamin Moore. Let's start with Alex.
Yeah, thanks for circling back for a second. I'm curious, you know, with the other international absences that, you know, you're now facing, you know, I think the list is Trauco, Acapo, Jamiro, Grezzo. Is that right?
Yeah, they'll be available for this game. They'll be available, but
Okay.
they will fly out immediately after. So they would be missing 1 to 2 games after, based on depending on each player's window.
Okay, that's helpful context. Thanks. I'm still curious, you know, how you're thinking about, you know, the depth preparing for those absences, whether that's something that's concerning to you, you know, given that you've been playing in games in the last few weeks, you know, Seattle LAFC game, thinking back to those, where, you know, they have some serious firepower coming off the bench, and, you know, whether you're starting to think about, you know, adding reinforcements in the secondary transfer window opening less than a month now, you know, how you're approaching that situation.
Yeah, definitely conversations we're having. We understand the schedule will get more dense, and there are these windows, whether it's the Gold Cup, or FIFA windows, right? And as that transfer window opens up or approaches, we are considering and analyzing things internally and externally. So, but look, I think we've had some pretty good consistency in terms of our lineup. Our schedule has been pretty favorable in terms of mostly once a week games. We really have had minimal midweek games. That will change, and then that will test our depth. So we definitely need to analyze that in terms of the players we have available today to step up, which have been stepping up in the absence of international duty of other guys, and then do we add, right? So we want to be smart and intentional, and anybody that we would bring mid-season or postseason, it has to be in line with our values, our locker room, our culture, and of course have the talent and the ability on the field to help us compete and win. So yes, we are analyzing those things, Alex, and we'll be decisive when we need to. In the meantime, you know, next man up. We've got a really good balance of youth and experience, and guys that I think are doing a good job, starting or not. So we want to keep going in that direction and count on each other right now.
And let's take one final question from Jamin Moore.
Thanks for taking another, Luchi. So, looking at the numbers here, you guys have back-to-back clean sheets. It's the first time, I think, since 2020 for this team. 1 goal in the last 3 games since 2015. since that's happened. So congratulations on the defensive, performances. Daniel's looking sharp, and that's helped out quite a bit as well. It feels though that the defensive solidity has come at a bit of an expense of some of the attacking ability, and there's always a give and take, and there's always a risk reward, right? Particularly as you look at the left side with Cade coming back and Jamiro over there, those feel like players that potentially can produce more, in the final product and be able to provide more assists, more XA, more XG, more goals. Do you think that it's something that you have to balance carefully in terms of how much risk you're going to try to get out of that particular group of players on that left side versus the amount of potential attack they can give you? Where do you see that risk reward at? Thank you.
Yeah, it's fair. It's a fair analysis, and we want to be a top XG team. We have been, I think, recently in the last few games. And look, two of those three have been away, and which is never easy in terms of producing really high XG. But we pride ourselves in being an attacking threat. We've got guys that can score at any moment in different ways, and we'll grab the positives. Positives, like you said, where defensively we've been working hard to have a structure defensively and have compactness and have clarity in our triggers to press and get pressure on the ball, and then when it's broken, can we recover or essentially get behind the ball and restart that process? And then I feel like we've progressed well there, and we've shown in the last few games. We've scored on a few set pieces recently, and I think that's been good. So not just in the run of play, we want to be dangerous in set pieces. So, grabbing those positives, but yeah, look, recognizing that we definitely can strive to be more balanced, where we are defending well and we are attacking well. And we've had good moments of both. And we're going to keep working to show consistency, to show both in one game, so that we create a difference in XG, right, in terms of conceding and scoring. So I think we've got the staff, the players, and the mentality to keep improving that. I believe in that. And then you mentioned the left side. Look, the left side, Cade. Look, Cade's he was statistically very good in the 20s. I would say it's a different level, the U20s versus an MLS First Division, one of the top leagues in the world. And we've got guys going with senior national team, and then Cade himself is in that pool of the senior national team. So Cade's intentions have been excellent. His XG's been really good. His runs, his ideas, like he's trying to do all the right things. And have they bounced his way statistically in MLS? No, not yet, but I believe he keeps doing what he's doing, and it will for him and the team. And then, look, we've had other guys in rotation there in the left, Benji, Tommy, Buddha. So, guys that are helping the team compete like they have the last few games. Benji got an important set-piece goal against Dallas. So, everyone's trying to contribute. We want to strive for balance. But, it's easier said than done. Christian, okay, he hasn't scored recently, but, it's a matter of time before he's going to put one in the back of the net or get an assist, and he had to earn that experience and that readiness to be effective. And we're talking about maybe some more experience on one side than the other. So we want to grow all of it to improve so that we can find that balance that you're talking about with attacking and defending.